Never seen a lame man walk, never heard a dumb man talk, never seen a blind man see. I promise you will change his name. Never seen a canceled debt, never seen all the poor get fed, never seen a prisoner set free. I promise you will change his name.
Hey everybody, it's the Big C and Bigger T podcast, and you know what, folks? Happy birthday. We're so glad you came. Happy birthday from the Big C and Bigger T podcast gang. It's Bigger C's birthday, and he is 46, and if he was really good this year, he might get some pixie sticks. Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks. Yeah. It's like, do you really celebrate 46?
Well, listen, we do here.
Okay, yeah.
Right. It's another day above ground, as old timers would say. And since we're becoming old timers, we got to start saying junk like that. So
you remember when 30 and 40 felt so old?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Like, you know,
now I hear about someone that passed away and they were like 68, and I'm like, oh, they're so young. they're so young.
Right.
What's that is?
I mean, like, we had a guy named Dustin Grosser I worked with at the movie theater in Greensboro, and I can't remember what we were talking about. We're like, Grosser, you know, how something. I can't remember how it came up. Like, how old do you want to live to be? He's like, about 50. That seems like a good run. Funny thing about Grosser is I'm going to make fun of him a little bit because I've told him this to his face. He would go to, we call them like anime conventions or whatever. We call them whoop conventions. Mm-hmm. Now everything that they do, no matter what it is, if it's a concert, whatever, you're going to a whoop thing.
Yeah.
I stole that from them guys. But he would collect samurai swords. Mm. So one day he was cleaning his sword. I didn't know it was a samurai sword. I just knew he was cleaning his sword, and he cut his belly. And I said, Grosser, the only thing funnier than that if you'd been here going, pee, out of my belly, while you were wearing a Viking helmet.
Yeah, that's right.
And he goes with all serious, and this is all seriousness, like he just goes, really, Clint, a samurai sword with a Viking helmet? Like I was the one being ridiculous.
Yeah, you were.
I was like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We had a really
good swords.
Good chuckle out of it. So I did tell myself for my birthday, like I'm giving myself, because you know I've been training hard for some jiu-jitsu tournaments and super fights and stuff like that.
By the way, coming off a big win on birthday weekend.
I did. My last day at 45, I went to I went to the jiu-jitsu tournament, the Arkansas Open. They do it every year here, a couple times a year in Conway. And my first black belt tournament win here in Arkansas. I did good. The two guys I went against, just great guys. Shane Goforth, Michael Wood, just great guys and great grapplers. And I always enjoy competing. Me and Goforth are the two big guys in the state of Arkansas. We always tend to go against each other. Yeah. That's the same guy I did the super fight against in Little Rock. So we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. We were joking about the super fight turned into a sumo match at the end.
Yeah.
Like I thought they'd give me them reversals. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a good time.
Sumo outfit.
But I told myself I'm giving myself today to eat whatever I want. So I haven't decided what's for supper yet. Mm. I did stop at McDonald's and get me 3 sausage McMuffins. Why? Because I can. And then I went and I had Los. We all call it 3 ponies. Had the Speedy Gonzalez for lunch. I usually when I go there, I'd always get a chicken pita taco salad, no shell, no tomato. So I didn't even know they had other stuff on the menus. First time I usually go, don't even give me a menu. I know what I'm getting. Because I'm one of them guys that I go to the same place and I get the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
And so now I'm out there exploring a little bit. I ain't decided to make. There's a Wendy's on the way home. There's a McDonald's, of course, Taco Bell. I don't know.
Man,
I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
You got all kinds of choices.
What do you recommend, Travis? What do you think I should do?
Well, if you're wanting just to drive through and get something because you don't want to go sit down somewhere, when I go out of town, I only eat at fast food places I don't have here. Because in South Arkansas, we're kind of limited. So I don't eat at McDonald's, don't eat at Sonic, Taco Bell, because we have those here, right?
Right.
When I come to Conway, there's a few places I hit. And one of those, because we used to have it and they closed it down about 5-6 years ago, and I've started missing it, is Arby's.
Oh, yeah.
And they have that. I did try the Wagyu burger. It's pretty good.
And they sold out of those like really quick.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But man, they got some of those. Sometimes they'll have something like with roast beef and then some brisket and some other stuff with some bourbon sauce on it.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty much a meat happy spectacle.
Yeah. Now they say it's not on the menu, but you go in and you order the meat mountain. It's like $10, and they'll give it to you. I've never tried it.
I haven't either, but
apparently, well, it's kind of like In-N-Out. They got a secret menu too. It's like you go in and order your food animal style.
Yeah.
And I actually love my burgers from In-N-Out animal style. Of course, the closest with us, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll put one closer to Arkansas at some point. But
yeah.
So yeah,
you're close there by IHOP. You might go over there and get you a big breakfast for dinner.
Yeah.
It's kind of spread or something.
Who knows?
The Waffle House.
You make a strong case, which me and you've had a discussion, and we talked about a thing on the podcast last week. Waffle House, best pound for pound restaurant in the country.
Pound for pound, best restaurant in the world. Pound for pound.
Just no freaking doubt.
Just like Dollar General is pound for pound the best shopping store in the world.
Okay, I've never heard that one. There's sure plenty of them.
I just may have just made it up.
It's like the Subway of stores.
Yeah,
like you got land, you're approved for a franchise.
That's right. That's right. Well, Clint, so you had a big week, man. The tournament, you get your gold medal of that, and then birthday. Now the wife's out of town. You're eating.
Wife's out of town. That's why we're talking. That's why I'm probably gonna do a drive-through, because I'm like, I'll probably just do a drive-through. I got to go home and let the dogs out. I'm in an undisclosed location right now, hence the black background being blurred out. Don't want people knowing where I'm at.
That's right.
Well,
I got back from church camp last week.
How was it? Did you have a good time? How was your sleeping arrangements?
The beds were horrible.
Did you have a twin?
Oh yeah, it was a twin bed, and this was a legit size twin. It wasn't here's a twin and a little extra space.
Right.
It was like when I laid on it, literally, my arms just fell off the side. It was that when you're wider than the bed, it doesn't make for comfortable. And then these beds, for some reason, are like high off the ground. And I didn't stay. They have what they call motel rooms, and they're just these little rooms that are pretty much. I mean, you don't have to stand in line in the back for the shower in the mornings and stuff. It's only advantage to it, really. And you have your own bathroom, but the beds are actually, I think, worse in there than they are the bunk beds in the dorm. It's just you don't have 50 people in the dorm with you, and but anyway, these beds are kind of high off the ground too. So when you barely fit on them, and then you decide you're the type that rolls around a little bit when you sleep, you got to worry about, am I going to end up on the ground? So anyway, but I normally at things like that, I just sleep on my stomach and I don't roll around that way. And I also don't snore as bad. So anyway, it was a good week though. We had a good time. Kids all had a blast. Stopped and got us some Cracker Barrel on the way home.
Cracker Barrel is delicious.
And I had something there. You may have, this is something I think you'd like. Well, it takes something healthy and then covers all the health up with other bad stuff.
That's excellent. I do that a lot with a salad.
Yeah. Well, this is grilled chicken breasts. You get 2 grilled chicken breasts, and they put cheese and bacon and then a maple sauce on top of it. And then mash that with some of their hash brown casserole and some pinto beans. And boy, it was good. It was good stuff. It was a good.
Me and you, I think we both frequently get that at Cole's. We get the loaded chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's so good.
It's so good.
They got the bacon. They got the cheese all over. And
that spicy red sauce that they do. Oh, and their cheese bacon, their cheese and bacon fries or whatever, loaded fries are the best there is because they're those big steak fries. Anyway,
now, I think the good news is when I did Master Worlds, of course, we talked about that. I got food poisoning real bad. And because I'd been just talking junk about it, I was going to go to the Brazilian Steakhouse as soon as I was done competing, and I was going to eat till I got the meat sweats.
Yeah.
And of course, that didn't happen for obvious reasons. I could not eat.
Yeah.
So I was like, look, I'm going to walk-ons. I'm going to Surf and Turf Burger. And everybody's like, look, you earned a pick. You earned the right to pick today. Yeah, all right. So I got to go to walk-ons, got the Surf and Turf Burger, got the Devils on Horseback.
So good.
Then other people were ordering appetizers too. So I got a little sampling of like their cheese sticks. Of course, I'm not going to go to walk-ons and get cheese sticks and order it myself because I can get those anywhere.
Yeah,
they were good.
Yeah,
they were really good. And then somebody got some fried pickles. Once again, I'm not going to go to walk-ons and order fried pickles. I can get those anywhere. But somebody goes, "Did anybody order fried pickles?" I'm like, "If you get some, I will eat some. I promise you."
Yeah.
And I sit there and I crush the Surf and Turf Burger, which just seems what I get there every time now. Robert and Wesley got me hooked on that thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it next time. I hadn't tried it yet, so
yeah, I got it with no jalapenos. I couldn't quite do the jalapenos, but I did. I just grappled 12 minutes with 2 very large individuals. Now, one of the guys that I beat, this is actually a pretty comical story, is Shane Goforth, the guy that I went against in the fight. He likes to do all the divisions. He'll do like multiple divisions. I personally like to do my own division, and that's it. Mm. Because to me, it's like if I go out there against a 180-pound guy and he beats me, you just lost to a little guy.
Yeah.
Even though I know in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter. There's different skill sets and everybody's got different tools in their toolbox. But so I don't see the reward in it for me because like if I beat the guy, okay, you beat a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no one gives you credit for winning the division. Like you did what you should have done.
Yeah.
So we had a young lady that I'd helped her out. She brought her carbine. I looked at her tires for her that goes to the gym. And I was like, we didn't do anything because nothing needed to be done. But she's, I want to bring some chocolate chip cookies to eat after the tournament just for your birthday and for looking at them. So I had this big Ziploc bag of homemade chocolate chip cookies. Yeah. And as soon as I stepped down the podium, she gave them to me. Yeah. I'm like, "Hey, Michael," I gave him a cookie. So he posted on his Facebook page, and this other group that he added him to is a big guy grappler group. He said, "Didn't do very well today, but the guy that took first after he kicked my butt gave me a chocolate chip cookie." Yeah. Hashtag winning. And I posted it in that group, and he posted in the group. It's got like 60 likes and hearts, and so it's pretty cute that he's like, it made his day better that I shared with him a chocolate chip cookie.
That's right. So, and that's a good after match snack.
It really was. I felt bad because Shane was going again, and I'd even commented and said I would have gave Shane one, but he had to compete again. Probably the last thing he needed was a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah,
and I was ready to leave and go to walk-on, so I wasn't going to hang out till he's done just to give him a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Even though the thought did cross my mind.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, we got some things to talk about. We're going to wrap up the baseball season, but before we do that, I want to talk about something because this is going to lead us into our Holy Shnikes moment. Okay.
Absolutely.
Football recruiting is going pretty good right now. Arkansas still is, we're ranked above Georgia in football.
Like 10, 11, somewhere in there. Was that right, Travis?
Yeah, maybe a little bit higher. I mean, it's really good. Now we're going to go down a little bit, once Georgia and Bama start getting all their commitments, but still, we're doing good. Well, we got a couple of big Georgia linemen this last week, and one of those is Ian Gefford. I don't know if I'm saying his last name. Geffrard. Okay, Gefford. Ian is a big boy, Clint.
Large individual.
He's 6'6", 350 pounds. Probably more than 350. Okay. But a lot of times they'll just round, when you get that big, they just round you off at a number.
I remember when I played at Tech, Todd Matthews always weighed 350 because that's the highest the scale will get.
Yeah.
He put 350 in the program.
Yeah. So Mr. Ian here, we're recruiting him as a defensive lineman. He committed to the Hogs, loved it at Arkansas and everything. We're recruiting him as a defensive lineman. Okay. Big stopgap guy in the middle. He's being recruited by a lot of other people as an offensive lineman. And from what I understand, Arkansas is keeping that open. They're telling him, look, we're going to give you first shot at D-line. But if that doesn't work out, we're going to move you over to the O-line, which is a guy that size, you can imagine. Now, I get on Hog Sports today, and I'm listening to Trey Biddy's weekly podcast, and he's talking about some recruiting. He has Danny West on there. And Danny starts talking about this guy. And he said when he was on his recruiting trip at Arkansas, he kind of showed out in front of some of the other recruits. What I'm talking about with showing out is a 6'6", 350-pound man doing backflips and handstands in front of all the other recruits.
That is insane. I think I weighed at the tournament. I weighed right at 310, which is not what I walk around at. But so I think if I tried to do a backflip, and I think I would just land on my back.
Yeah,
I think I would. I don't even think I'd make it far enough over to break my neck.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It's
if
like-
I tried a backflip, I mean, people would be like, no one would say, hey, Travis just tried a backflip. Unless I told him I was about to try a backflip. Like, I would just end up, hey, Travis is pretending to be a turtle. he's just on his back. Travis, for some reason, just laid down on the ground. Because that's all it would be if I tried a backflip.
No, it would be rough.
And this dude, Clint.
Yeah.
6'6", 350.
Four-star recruit, am I not correct?
I think 4-star. They're thinking he may have a chance to, get higher rankings as it goes. Are you kidding me?
No, that is impressive. But apparently, like, there's a lot of anonymous sources out there, or anonymous coaches that are doing nothing but raving about the job that Sam Pittman has done recruiting.
Well, and that leads us to a couple of other. There's been some other commitments, but I just wanted to pick out. I picked out a couple off the list here recently. In the last few days, another defensive lineman from Georgia, Steven Johnson, who's more of a typical defensive lineman. Okay, he's more of a he's played a lot more defensive lineman.
Right.
I'm not saying he's going to end up on offense or anything. 6'3", 330. He had 65 tackles as a nose tackle.
Ooh.
Last year.
Well, if you played against the old Greenbrier offense, or plays were up the gut, that's not too hard to do. But in today's offensive, that's impressive.
And this is big time Georgia football he's playing in, or somewhat big time. And then another one we got committed is Alex Sanford, a linebacker from Oxford. 6'3", 240.
When did he commit?
Just recently.
Okay, awesome.
The last few days. That's a big time. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what's going to make this team different, is bigger, stronger, faster players. And that's that's Alabama size right there. They may not be the 5-star Alabama recruits, but that's Alabama size for sure. And if our coaches can coach them up and put them in the right positions and put them with some other players, that can be really special.
No, and I can't remember the old defensive line coach's name that him and I think Pittman had a mutual parting of the ways. To be on his staff, you have to recruit.
Mm.
And the amount of I would say, deficiency in recruiting the defensive line department. I mean, I think if the transfer portal wasn't a thing, we would be fine on the offensive line right now.
Yeah.
We'd be fine at wide receiver, honestly.
Yeah.
Definitely fine at quarterback and running back.
Mm.
The defensive line has been the one area of need where you can say, we got to hit that transfer portal.
Yeah.
We have to hit it. And I think that they're eliminating the need for that.
Yeah.
With the current recruiting of that. Now, there was another big, it's not Arkansas, but there was another big fish that got landed. Were you surprised?
A little bit. And of course, you're talking about
we're talking about Arch Manning.
Arch Manning. Well, the only thing that surprises me is they have that other stud quarterback from Ohio State. That only played a couple of plays at Ohio State and is now transferred to Texas. That's the only thing that had me kind of wondering about that. I mean, he's going there because of Sarkisian's offensive ability and coaching. I mean, that's a big part of it. And I'm sure maybe to do something different than his relatives, more famous relatives did.
Right.
But yeah, what were you shocked about it, or what do you think?
Man, you'd heard Texas, and Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss. Those were the four that you heard a lot. Now Otis Kirk said, and I always tie everything back to Arkansas. Otis Kirk said that Arkansas signed the best quarterback out there this year for their offense.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't have fit in Arkansas. He would have fit under they said he's got better wheels than his uncles.
Yeah.
That he's a much better runner than than Eli and Peyton. But he wouldn't be a fit. Maybe like in Belima's offense, he'd have been a good fit.
Mm.
So he's but not for what Rawls do. So I was kind of shocked because the one thing his uncles did not do in college, and they were phenomenal football players.
Mm.
We played against both of them.
Yeah.
Had better luck against Eli than we did Peyton, as did everybody but Tom Brady. But but no one's won a national championship. No one's won a Heisman. Where could he have gone and got closer to the national championship? Texas is not back. And if they don't win with him, they may not get back.
And that's what made me a little surprised that it was Texas, because there's a lot of what ifs at Texas. Okay. Texas A&M has a head start on them of being in the SEC and being used to SEC. Texas they're going to find out with Manning at quarterback what it's like to be in the SEC every week. And are they ready for that? I really thought he was going to end up at Bama just because.
Now, Bama did get a commitment from, I think, the number 4 quarterback in the country. The number 2 just committed.
I was just thinking the Manning name and Alabama finally come together. You got one at Ole Miss, you got or 2 at Ole Miss, you got 1 at Tennessee. Bama would finally, have their, and it would be a guaranteed, as long as he won the starting job, which is still up in the air no matter where he goes.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, Eli redshirted. Would it be a bizarre thing to see him redshirt? I mean, it would be to me, because
I think nowadays with the portal and everything, it would be.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Like, let's say everything goes the way you want 2 years.
Mm.
He comes in, wins the starting quarterback job. And first of all, this feels gross talking about Texas. I want to stop.
It's gotta.
Yeah, let's stop.
Yeah.
Arch Manning, I don't wish you well.
right. Bad luck to you. Horns down. All right, so
I'm sorry we went there. I apologize to our listeners and Gabe, super fan.
Since we talked last time, Clint, I know we didn't really want to bring it up.
Yeah.
But the Hog baseball team lost out to those dirty Ole Miss Shark Bears, whatever they are. Ole Miss played well. You can't take anything away.
No, and I think that's what it was. Is there's two teams that I think played the game the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them had hit adversity, and what I loved, it came down to winners take all. Both aces on the mound.
Yeah,
it's like the coach from Ole Miss said for the game. If you would have told us at the beginning of the season, you would have a chance to go to the national championship series. And the only thing, and you would have your ace on the mound, would you take it?
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee you, Dave Van Horn would be like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The coach at Ole Miss, I'm brain farting on his name.
I can't remember either.
Yeah. But he was on thin ice.
Mm.
I think people had the feeling he's going to get called in Keith Carter's office and dismissed at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They were one of the last four teams out. I mean, in.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Clint, I said something about it on Twitter. I'm so proud of this baseball team.
I am too. I really am.
People, and we said it when Michael Turner was on here, but man, I've had people talking to me about Arkansas baseball that never would have talked about Arkansas baseball. I had old ladies in my church talking about, did you see that Arkansas baseball game? And they're watching more of them than I was getting a chance to watch because I was busy doing other things. You know, I mean, it was just, man, I mean, it was just a fun season, especially toward the end of the season here, you know, and whenever they got into the regionals and super regional and all that stuff, you know, when the season ended, you know, on a struggle, you know, everybody got fired up for Hoover and it didn't go so well there. For them to come back in those super regional games, man, throwing up them church league softball scores, but playing with passion and with class and to win that and then turn around and go do as well as they did in the super regional. And then to represent in Omaha so well, you know, and this team was just, they're so easy to root for. And I'll tell you, I'm going to miss, you know, at the end of the season, who were the two most popular players on this team, Clint?
Michael Turner and Caden Wallace.
Well, Michael Turner and maybe, I mean, I love Caden Wallace.
Yeah, Nolan.
Lanzilli.
Oh, Lanzilli. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you know,
the rental players.
The rental players. That's right. The two guys that came in, you know, that were just hogs for a year. Yeah. But when you talk about this season, you cannot talk about this season without talking about how important those two guys were.
And who knows what Leach would have done. And we'll talk more about Leach in a minute. But I don't think they make it to Omaha without Michael Turner.
No.
Or Lanzilli, either one. Michael Turner was I don't know if we mentioned this when we interviewed him, but wasn't he regional MVP?
Yeah, I think we might have. Yeah,
we might have brought it up.
I need to say it again. And by the way, the only Razorback to make a World Series all tournament team.
Yeah,
Michael Turner.
Yeah, no, but he sucked, right?
Yeah. What's his name? According to one radio show host, yeah. What an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Michael Turner wouldn't talk junk about you, but we will.
That's right. That's right. We'll remind folks of what you said.
I was arguing with somebody on, I think it was Instagram one time. He goes, "You're above this." I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not even close to being above it." So,
but yeah, Clint, this team though, man, I don't remember. Like I remember getting behind some, you know, I've gotten behind some baseball teams over the years. You know, the Benintendi games and Dallas Keishel and all those guys, man. But I don't remember a team like this where the whole state was this. I mean, even in 18 when we went to the College World Series, I mean, everybody was behind that team, but it wasn't like this.
No,
it was people that paid a little attention to baseball anyway, and then just focused on it a little more, right?
Yeah, well, and I think what happened was we were all kind of disappointed the way the season was going.
Mm. And
then, and it was we hit a rough patch, and then, Ruskin did what Ruskin did.
Mm.
And then I think, and the one thing about Arkansas fans, when you attack one of our own, when you attack one of our kids, we don't put up with it.
No.
And I think it galvanized the fan base. I think it galvanized the team. I would be shocked. We didn't talk about it. I'd be shocked if he was ever accepted back on the radio by Arkansas fans.
Well, I don't know. He may be back on now. I don't know.
I could be wrong. And who knows? And hopefully he realizes the error of what he said and apologizes, and we can all move on.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll be accepted back. He doesn't deserve to lose his career on this.
No.
But that's not for me to decide. I have a mediocre podcast that I release once a week. He's worked for his. So
that's right. But yeah, Clint, this was just a special year, man. And a lot of it was these players, just the way they carried themselves, the way they stayed after and signed autographs after every game. Yeah. You'd see stories about them staying 30 minutes after losses.
Yeah.
And then not only that, their activity on social media, thanking the fans like they did on social media, talking about how wonderful our fan base is and press conferences. I mean, this was a team that understood that there were people behind them. And you know what? They can go out there and they can play this sport at a high level, and they don't have to have great fans. There's lots of kids at other schools that do it.
Yeah.
But it makes it so much funner when you have a great fan base and your fan.
It really, it's definitely a lot more fun.
And those guys had fun.
And
they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they definitely did. And I felt really after the end of that Ole Miss game, all we could do, was it DiNucci? Is that the kid's name? The pitcher for Ole Miss? I felt like all you could do is take your cap off, tip it to him. I'm like, yeah. He pitched the game of his life, and his stuff was filthy.
Yeah.
Connor Nolan pitched a great game, a terrific game.
Yeah.
He was just a little bit. He was just a little bit better.
Yeah.
It was like your best beat our best. Congratulations, and I'm happy for him, because what no one mentioned about Ole Miss, and I don't, and this feels dirty talking about Texas and Ole Miss, but I'm going to anyway. Ole Miss had 3 seniors that could be in the minors getting paid right now, and they're like, no, we're going to come back.
Yeah. And
you got to wonder about how in baseball, if NIL money is going to change some of that.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're Caden Wallace. Okay, and Caden Wallace is going to be a first-round pick. Early second round. Caden Wallace is gone. He's not coming back. He's going to make some good money, and they're going to pay him to leave Arkansas. They're going to pay him enough money to make it worth his time to leave Arkansas and go start his baseball career.
Yeah.
That's what's going. But let's say he was because what do they have, like 3,000 rounds of the MLB draft?
Something like that.
So let's say he gets drafted in round 45 or 40 or 30, somewhere in there. Like, okay, we'll give you a $200,000 signing bonus. They may have a deal with a tractor dealership, in wherever.
And he gets to play. When you go to the minor leagues, you don't have fans like you do in Arkansas.
Oh, you don't.
You get a whole nother season of experiencing the best fandom in college sports.
Yeah.
In your sport, in baseball. Now, Arkansas, in football, we may not be, you can always say, well, you got Tennessee, you got Alabama, you got Florida, you got Michigan, you got Ohio State.
you got Notre Dame, you got all these other schools that you can argue their fandom's better than Arkansas's. I don't think it is, but nationally, people that go nationally, they think that, right? In basketball, you can argue Duke and Kentucky and Kansas and some of those with Arkansas. In baseball, Arkansas is that top of the list.
Yeah.
Of places to put. Like, they're it. Like, everyone else is compared to what we have at Baum. And you get a chance to stay in that. And then that minor league deal is still coming. And you can make a little money doing it. I think you're right. I think that NIL is gonna maybe help us keep some players sometime.
Now, another weird question. So I got a Marco Polo from Scott Lawson, who we had as a guest picker a while back, Tennessee fan.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he is convinced after this season that baseball needs to adopt the college football format, where they pick the 4 teams. Now, after what happened to us last year, what's your thought? Because Tennessee basically got the Arkansas treatment, where they were the defended number 1 all year long, and then you get put it. So basically, it's basically like having this year would be like having a number 12 seed and a number 8 seed play for the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think it's not broke? We shouldn't fix it, or you think?
I don't like all the changes they necessarily they made in football, totally. So I'm kind of if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of guy. I mean,
yeah, you like the old BCS model.
Exactly. So, I mean, I don't. I think you're getting your best fan interaction. You're getting your best attendance at the World Series games and all these regionals and stuff. You're getting your best TV viewage that you've ever had at all those. Why would you jack with that?
No, because I can't stand Tennessee. I can't stand Ole Miss. I can't stand Oklahoma. But I caught myself watching into that game Sunday.
Yeah.
I watched the dog pile. I mean, I did. So no, I get it. It's easy to be a little butthurt.
Yeah.
I mean, we were last year. We went through it last year, and I get where he's coming from. But I think it's like the NCAA. I still stand beside my statement I made on this podcast. The best sports weekend of the year is the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament. Yeah. I think the best sports day is the Thursday of the NCAA tournament, because you're always going to have something walk have. You're going to have Virginia lose to St. Bonaventure or something like that. You have your Ole Miss, the Valpo shot. You're always going to have something like that happen, which is just fun.
Yeah.
And I think is what a great story it was that, I think, the top 3 teams in the NCAA tournament, the last 3 teams standing, or last 4, because who was it? No, A&M was a national seed, but your 3 last teams playing, none of them were a national seed.
Yeah.
None of them. I don't think any of them played a home series.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. Which in the final D1 baseball poll, this is D1 baseball. Okay. Ole Miss is number 1, Oklahoma's number 2, Arkansas number 3, and A&M number 4 is the way that their standings. Now there's other people that do standings, and like I said, people can be snubbed. Another big Arkansas news, Dylan Leach has entered the transfer portal, and I just saw online that he has his destination.
Oh, I don't even know this. I'm being
He is going to be a Missouri Tiger.
Oh, wow.
Now I had my buddy Adam Sandifer. He wasn't a big Leach fan when he got to see him play early in the year, and then Leach had that against UCA, hit for the cycle, and I was like, "Well, what'd you think about Leach?" He said, "That proves that's where he should be playing. He should be playing against that level." like UCA. And I was like, well, I don't know. And that's what I mentioned to Michael Turner when he came on. You know, he came on in a difficult situation because he's following Opitz. We talked about this last week a little bit. And then Leach was highly touted. And so I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised Leach is leaving, but this also makes me wonder if maybe Van Horn looked at him and said, okay, you're not quite what we expected. You might want to look for somewhere else.
Well,
we got another catcher coming in. We're going to try to.
And I agree. I think Pittman talking about the transfer portal. Well, that game, like I said, being said, he won't turn down the 5 stars that are in them. But the transfer portal is intended for the kids that were over recruited.
Mm.
You know, that's what he's saying. You know, because we had the running back that he's at Texas. I think he went to Texas Southern or Texas San Antonio. No, we had 2 that transferred. One of them was Traylon Smith, and the other one was I'm brain fart on his name, and I think he ended up at Texas Southern. And he told the coach, he said he went to Pittman's office. He goes, look, I can see the depth chart. I think I can help somebody.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, that's what the portal's for. You're the ideal candidate for the portal.
Yeah.
He goes, it wasn't the kid that make the mistake, because if you're a kid with okay talent and you got Sam Pittman and you got these high D1 coaches coming to your house, it's going to be hard to tell them no.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you have Texas San Antonio come recruit you. You have Arkansas and Alabama. Who are you going to say yes to?
Yeah.
And especially I think now with the portal, that gives you a chance to take that shot. You can Arkansas recruit you to play baseball. You can take that shot. If it don't work out, okay, I can always go down.
Yeah.
But you can take that shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and then of course, you know, with basketball, things are still going strong. The team is playing, you know, warming up. They're getting better. You know, we talked about a lot about that last week, so we don't have to hit on that much. So I have a crazy question for you today, Clint.
And I'm curious about this. You told me you had a crazy question for me.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me before the
I didn't tell you, so I didn't. Well, you know, we try all these different things. We'll ask, you know, desert island or deserted island or whatever questions and I heard this one. I got to say, I heard it on. I think it was ESPN radio Sunday morning. I was getting ready for church. I listened to the best week ever with the Peter Burns, and I think he asked this question, and I thought it was a good one that me and you could tackle.
Okay,
you ready?
I'm ready. Hit me with it.
You're kidnapped. You're kidnapped. Okay.
Oh.
Let's, you know, like what's that show with Liam Neeson, the movie? Taken. Yeah, that's right. You're taken. And but help is coming. The people that are coming to save you is the cast from the last show that you streamed, that you were like addicted to streaming, whatever.
Oh yeah, my last one that
you really got into, that you were watched, you know, you watched the whole thing or whatever.
Okay.
Let's do that one. I thought about the last one you watched. We can do the last one you watched, and then we can do the last one you streamed, the whole thing.
Like, yeah, you're like, oh, my life is over. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
The last one I binge watched, like I sit there and I watched the show Barry. I think that's coming to mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. They mess everything up. I think I'd be kind of, I mean, it's like, yeah, I think I'd be in a whole heap of trouble. A whole heap. Even now, you know, that being said, I finished the last episode of Alone this morning.
Oh.
So I think I'd be okay there.
Oh, yeah, because Alone, yeah.
Because
that's not really, you're watching this current season, though.
Yeah, but I think they can still save me. I think, you know, they got.
Oh, yeah. So that'd be the last show you watched.
Right. But yeah, the cast of Barry, I think I'd be in trouble. Because, you know, they got the Fonz, they got old Arthur Fonzarelli on there. And they've got, you know, Bill Hader. I'd be in trouble. Stephen Root.
Yeah, well, no, but the actual characters from the show is who we say. Yeah. So the characters they play, that's who would be.
Now, Barry could help me out. but it always seems to, it never, it's like any show, nothing ever goes to plan.
Yeah.
Nothing goes to plan. How about yourself? Who's coming to save you?
Mine are pretty interesting.
All right, I'm curious.
Now I've been watching, of course, Alone. I've been watching of course, these are weekly shows that I watch. I've been watching the barbecue, the deal with what's his name, Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
They do the barbecue cook-off thing each week.
Yeah.
Whatever. I've been watching that. But anyway, but no, as far as the last show, I vegged out and streamed over a weekend was Stranger Things.
Okay, I have not watched this last season yet.
Okay, so I watched they did the first half of this last season. So I watched it the weekend it came out, and I watched the whole thing that weekend. And that was the last one I did that with. Okay, so that would be an interesting group, because I'm dependent on a bunch of teenagers. They're all teenagers now. They're growing up, right? And I'm doing with a bunch of teenagers, and some other odd characters. Now, it depends on who kidnapped me. If it's some devilish alien
Right.
underground thing, then I'm doing pretty good, because then 11's going to be able to use her powers, and I'm good. If it's anyone else, I'm probably in trouble.
Yeah. No, and I'm sitting here, I've been thinking about it, because I was like, man, I didn't, because I wasn't prepared at all. So I really hadn't processed the last thing. I remember this morning, I sit down, like the last thing I watched, and this is how I am screwed. And this is because there's not a cast of characters. So we've seen the James Corden flying with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Where he picks him up, he goes, I don't know where we're going. So there's like a 30-minute thing they do, Top Gun Flying School. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
So I watched that this morning. So Tom Cruise as Tom Cruise and James Corden as James Corden are coming to save me. That was literally the last thing I watched.
Oh man.
I'm just like,
But Tom Cruise is sort of a superhero in himself.
Right. No,
I mean, he's got the Scientology stuff and everything, but I think that's okay because he's willing to jump out of planes. He's doing his own stunts. So as far as actors go, you're dealing with probably one of the best there to actually get it done, because he's not gonna, when things get hairy and that guy that's got a gun on you turns the gun on him, he's not going to say, okay, stand in, body double,
Right. Now, do they give him his plane? Because he's flying planes in the last. Does he get to use the plane? I don't know.
And I think that one he took Corden up was one of his own planes.
No, they were. That's funny. If y'all haven't watched that, look up Tom Cruise goes flying with James Corden. The 15-minute one. There's a few other things in the full thing, and he's interviewing him a little bit, and they talk about him. Yeah. His love for flying is kind of fun.
Now here's my other one, Clint.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's my other one. And I'm sort of worried about this one. Because when I thought of this question, because like I also have shows that like I'll take old TV shows and they're if nothing else is on, I just get those going just to have noise going around the house.
I like background noise.
Yeah. And so like I've done that years. I've done that with The Office. I've done, and it's because they're shows I know so well that I don't have to watch the whole thing because I know what's about to happen. And so I can be busy working on something else and just have that going like background music sort of.
Right, yeah.
I
do that a lot with movies.
With Seinfeld and with stuff like that. Well, lately that's been ER for me.
Okay.
So my problem is those doctors from ER aren't the most heroic people. I mean, George Clooney, he just does his little side smile to the nurses and whoever else, and he gets the girl or whatever. So he's not gonna save me until I get shot or hurt bad.
Right.
And then they're gonna bring me back to life. So that's my only concern about them coming to get me is it's probably gonna be dramatic. I'm probably going to get a tracheotomy with a ballpoint pen or something. They're going to have to breathe for me. They're going to have to crack my chest and do internal, massage my heart internally.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's gonna get ugly.
So, what show do you wish you would have been watching? Like, if you could pick a cast, who would you want to come save you?
Man, this new season of Alone, I probably would have said that one.
Yeah.
Some of those folks, man, they're good with the bow and arrow, and they're good. I mean, it's a good season.
So I started watching this show on Netflix called Snowflake Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched like the first 5 minutes of it. I'm like, I can tell this is fake reality TV.
Yeah.
Like, I had to turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is fake reality TV. But I'm thinking like, and I just threw that in there. If I could have watched Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
With the one that's Tad Hamilton or not. Is it Tad Hamilton? What was Tad's name?
You remember? Yeah.
I'm brain for his last name, but Tad from Blue Mountain State's now playing Jack Reacher.
Mm.
Which is such, because John Cruise played him in the movie, and if you read the books, Tom Cruise is not Jack Reacher at all.
Yeah.
But just FYI, Travis, I have not read the books.
Oh, okay.
But I've read an article talking about the books.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm basically an expert.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think as far as TV shows go,
The A-Team.
now I have been watching Obi-Wan on Disney Plus. And so if I had Obi-Wan, on it, he's going to save Princess Leia as a little kid. And so if I had a Jedi coming to help me, I think I'd be okay.
Oh yeah, you'd be good there.
Hey, by the way, you're not a Star Wars guy, are you?
I will watch them. I'm not
Okay.
like, I thought The Mandalorian was okay.
Mandalorian is good, yeah.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I'll watch them.
It always has amazed me. There's a lot of things about the Jedis that I admire. The thing I admire the most is their ability to put that sword right in front of the bullets.
Oh yeah.
You know how they block bullets with it?
Yeah.
I'm like, that takes skill. That takes some serious skill to be able to knock those bullets away. Sorry, that's just one of those things. One of those things. Well, Clint, man, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you.
So happy for you.
I got to get out here and go eat. I don't know. For some reason, something's telling me I may get the Baconator. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be it, dude. That might be it. They have a strawberry frosty now at
yeah. See, and I'm so weird because I don't, and I may have talked about this I don't like strawberries.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh.
If I have anything with a hunk of strawberry, I'm not gonna eat it. You give me a strawberry flavored ice cream with no strawberry in it, I'll eat it.
Well, that's the way the frosty is.
Yeah. Well, I know. So I may like
Frosty won't have chunks.
Yeah.
It'll be just for strawberry flavored. So
see, I could go to Sonic because I like tater tots.
Yeah.
And
that's the tough thing is you want to go somewhere that has some kind of good side, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing about Arby's. I'm not a big curly fry fan.
Oh, see, I love curly.
I'm not a big fry fan to begin with, unless I like the steak fries or like if they're like a good steakhouse fry or something like that. But like I don't like McDonald's fries. If I go to McDonald's, I just get a sandwich and no fries. I'll eat tater tots at Sonic. Yeah. Something like that. But even at a regular sit-down restaurant, I usually don't eat all my fries. I'm just not a big fry fan. So I'm just weird like that, I guess. But yeah, man. Hey, and you're in Conway, dude. You could always calling something in, get curbside pickup.
There you go. Who knows? We'll see.
They'll bring it out.
I'm going to start driving home and I'm going to see what strikes me.
They'll bring it out in a cool sack and hand it to you in the sack. That'd be awesome. Get a stack of food.
I may order pizza. Who knows?
Hey, you can do that.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, seriously, have a good one. By the way, I got a little news today.
Oh.
I got a call, and they more than likely going to be the radio voice for the Bearden Bears this year.
Look out.
So that'll be exciting. Do the football games. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be doing it by myself, if they got someone else, but whatever happens, I'll be going every Friday night to all their games. And I do want to let people know if you're in South Arkansas this weekend, the guy who leads into our show and sends us out of our show each week, Sean Michelle, is doing a show at Mule Kick in El Dorado. It's like a venue, bar, pizza place, nice place. They do like the brick oven style pizzas, I think, there and stuff like that. But Mule Kick in El Dorado Thursday night. He's going to be there. And then Friday night, he's going to be in Camden at Jacob's Well, which is a new coffee shop there in Camden. So if you like his music, you like what you hear on here, the guy has an awesome live show. He's energetic. He's kind of a mix between blues and rock and just a Southern rock and whatever else. He's just it's a one-man show, but I promise you will get more out of that one-man show because he is an energetic entertainer. And plus, he needs help, Clint, because if you hadn't noticed, his shampoo bill is kind of high.
Oh, yeah.
He's got lots of hair, lots of beard. And I don't know, he's got 2 kids now. And I don't know how he's affording shampoo right now. I really don't.
I don't either. Now, did I tell you about the phone call I got today?
No.
They were trying to reach me about my car's extended warranty.
Oh, really?
And they also wanted me to tell you people, like, share, subscribe.
That's right.
We are everywhere. We are on Telemundo, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, Plenty of Fish, Tinder,
Amazon,
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio,
iHeartRadio,
the YouTubes. If there's an internet, we are on it.
That's right. We're also on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. So get on there, like and share. Let your people know about this podcast. If you're a new listener, we thank you. Be sure and subscribe. Comment on the post. Let us know what you think. What TV shows would be coming to save you if you got kidnapped, taken style? Who would you be looking for? I should have said Andy Griffith because he would have done it and never fired a shot, Clint.
Never.
And that way we wouldn't need that daggum ER, folks, because they wouldn't be cracking my chest. Gotta love some Andy. Nip it in the bud.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard drive so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Oh, I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Sun beating down so hard, I can barely breathe. Hard to sing a joyful song, the work's got me on my knees. Then the gentle breeze blows by, pick me up right on time. Listen, now I know the Lord is near, working my